Welcome to this press conference on behalf of the International Monetary and Financial Committee.
We had a very productive discussion today.
There was not exactly the same level of anxiety, but I think there was an equal level of concern and a collective endeavor to identify the solution and the responses to the global economic situation. What I come away with is the collective determination by the members of the IMFC that the three-pronged approach is the right approach.
And from the countries that things aren't quite as bad as it seemed to make out at the beginning of the week.
They all identified whether it was in the area of trade, in the area of taxation, in the area of financial regulations and completion of that agenda. They all also assemble behind the necessary collective approach. So, in a way, the IMFC and the meetings that precede the IMFC is a bit of a therapy, a collective therapy to move from the negative situation that we are facing and the challenges on the horizon to a positive approach in order to identify the solutions.
So what else can the Argentine government do to further improve its growth outlook?
In September 2016, we were in the normal course of things supposed to review the data and statistics situation with probably some negative decision, instead of which what we're likely to do in September is a full-fledged Article 4 of the economy, which will give much better data and information about the state of the economy, which is the condition to determine the right set of policies. Other sources of growth can be identified and developed within the country. All forces have to be harnessed to address the situation. And as you said, it ranges from peace negotiations to resettlement, to education, to humanitarian assistance, and so on and so forth. So we can provide the policy advice, the macroeconomic framework to help those countries. When we have a program in place, we take into account the fiscal constraints.
Bank help in easing this concern? Thank you.
When we do the NFSAP, for instance, a financial sector assessment program, we look at the anti-money laundering and the counter-terrorism financing mechanisms in place, and we check that the laws are there, and we check that it's implemented, and we check that the bodies are set up to enforce it. But then there has to be follow-up, because it's too serious to be just left to a report. So, as I said, all of us, we are going to have to think outside the box, and I've certainly committed myself to members of the IMFC that is going to be one of the areas that I call the new challenges.
I'd like to thank Governor Carstens and Madame Lagarde, and thanks to all of you too.